This is Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project, taking my first ever walk with Wilderness Rocks. We finally made it out into the trails.
Exactly.
Been talking about this for a while. So you have a story to tell about where we are.
So I'm just going to say this. This is pretty simple. That's the road right there where the television crew would park their cars. And that's the top of the waterfall where Bear Grylls and Jake Gyllenhaal, or whatever his name is, rappelled off of.
Repelled off. Right here.
Where they were surviving. Right.
This is a survivor show was done right here by Bear Grylls.
So basically, there's the road. It's 20 steps that way. So they basically came over here. They hooked up a bunch of webbing to trees and rocks. They rappelled over and they rode a four-wheeler back up this trail back to that road. Not even a tenth of a mile. Not even 1/10 of a mile. Look. Hey Troy, let's survive to get back to the civilization. We have to rappel off this waterfall for no reason and then walk back 10 feet. Then we'll survive. Look.
So this is where Bear Grylls did one of his shows.
Bear Grylls
right here.
Right off of this. And I was...
Isn't that cool?
I was laughing so hard going, I know that. I know where they're at. See, the water is pretty low. That's the waterfall.
Yeah, it's really dry here right now.
Let's go down and see the bottom.
All right, awesome. Yeah, it's pretty out here.
Plunge into the water at the bottom and then get on a four-wheeler and ride off.
All right, we're gonna go see that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
That's literally within the last 2 or 3 weeks a brand new show from Bear Grylls.
Right? Now I'm gonna have to get a TV just so I can see that.
And this is a bicycle path and a carriage path for people to walk their dogs and things.
Right.
They were so surviving.
I think my backyard is more rugged.
I think in the future, Les Stroud is turning over in his grave. What's that, like, yeah, Cody Lundeen in the future is also turning over in his grave.
Right.
And Dave Canterbury, he's just too good to even know about it. You know, some of these guys are real and some of them aren't. And
so while we're walking,
it's just money, you know? They got to make money.
While we're walking, tell me about your survival expertise. I mean, what's your level of experience in survival?
I mean, it depends on which direction, you know?
Yeah.
If, you know, I mean, I'm a wilderness first responder. I have wilderness first aid certifications. You know, I was a Cub Scout and a Boy Scout, and I've thru-hiked twice, the Appalachian Trail and the Pacific Crest Trail, and, you know, I've worked at outdoor stores. You know, I practice bushcraft almost every day.
Right.
You know. So, you know, it's, getting close to 10,000 miles of experience, I guess you could say. Right.
I've noticed your simplistic and very basic gear that you pack. You like your coffee this morning with an alcohol stove, and
that's an evolution too. Like right here in this park, you can't build a fire.
Right.
So if you want to have a cup of coffee, that's how
you got to do that. Right.
And then the rangers, if they walk up, they'll pat you on the back and think it's cool and they want to check it out instead of giving you a ticket or hauling you off or something.
Yeah, I'm going to pause the camera a minute here and we'll keep walking.
So they rappel off this cliff into the water. Then they jump on a four-wheeler over here and they ride back a 1/10 of a mile.
And this was it right here.
That's it.
This is beautiful though. Wow. This is beautiful.
And it's actually illegal to swim here, and they were in the water.
It's illegal to swim. Well, they probably had permission.
But it's funny, they were in the water and it's illegal to swim, you know?
Oh, it's sad that that's illegal. It's beautiful.
No. Every tourist and their mom would come out here with their suntan lotion and bug juice, DEET.
Yeah.
That'd be full of DEET in a week.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it's very low water.
Nobody cares. You know, they put all their lotion on and their deodorant and then they jump in there.
Yeah, I know.
Might as well just open a thing of Vaseline and throw it in there.
It's beautiful though. Yeah, it's very inviting. It makes you want to just go in there.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, it's nice.
Chief normally swims. Not.
Well, that'll be funny. I'm going to have to watch for that show. I'm definitely going to have to look out for that and see if I can see it and recognize this.
Oh yeah, you will.
So here you have it, guys. Bear Grylls survival right here in my backyard. Isn't that funny?
I hope those tourists make it here and without dying or anything that we passed hiking here.
And here's their survival trail.
And they didn't even walk out. They rode a
They rode a four-wheeler out.
A tenth of a mile.
We just walked here in
2 minutes.
Yeah, about
5 at the most.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty though. Look at that. That's not far from my home, people. This is the Gunks.
Why do you think a TV show chose this? Because it's awesome.
It is.
You know?
It is.
Maybe it wasn't my conscious, you know.
Well, there's the fall colors. Starting pretty nicely here. Yeah. And the sun finally coming out. I hope it shows up as nicely on camera as I'm seeing it. Look at that orange right there.
Crazy.
Look at how vibrant that is. Just looking down at the top of the poles again, but...
Makes more sense now, huh?
Yeah. No, this is really pretty here.
Yeah. They chose a great location. It just wasn't a great survival location.
Yeah, it's not true survival location. It was a beautiful spot for a scene.
Makes me wonder about the other scenes, you know.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm more of a survivor man type of guy, to be honest.
Yeah, this is so nice. But the water comes all the way up to these rocks.
Right.
Yeah,
right now it's just dry season. Yeah, you can tell the water flows over all of this. Really nice. Well, there's upstate New York in October. All the colors. Still nice weather. Still good to walk in a little stroll in the woods. Well, we're going to move on to a different location and do a real short hike with Joe from Wilderness Rocks here and Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World.